call to order Myrtle Creek Urban Renewal Agency regular meeting agenda for for July 21st, 2026. Roll call, please.
Director Robert Cheney.
Here.
Director Jamie McElroy. Here. Director Kathy Ragg.
Here.
Director Rick Bell.
Here.
Director Ruth Dillon.
Here.
Director Diana Larson.
Here.
All right, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, citizens are on agenda items, we have none. Consent agenda, 4.1 approval of minutes of the regular Urban Renewal Agency meeting for for June 2nd, 2026.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular urban renewal meeting on June 2nd, 2026.
I'm second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, nay? Motion carries. On regular agenda, 5.1.1, wildflower, preschool, and child care. Who's here for that? Hi.
Hi,
You want to come up and?
absolutely. My name is Rihanna Ruby and I own Wildflower Preschool and Child Care LLC at 330 Northwest 2nd Avenue in Myrtle Creek.
Any questions?
Been watching that for the last month, whatever, and it's looking beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You really do job.
We've done a ton of work to the inside and so now it's time to finish up the outside. And I'm always thinking about what the children need. And so I don't think as much about urban renewal and beautification from the city aspect of it. So you don't see as much. It's just been a ton of work done on the inside. I think that some of you came and toured when we had our open house. We've built an additional wing with 2 new classrooms that are opening up in the fall. We're putting in ADA ramps, redoing the parking lot, grading, paving. And we did get grant funding through the Business Organ Infrastructure Grant for a lot of that work that's happening inside the parking lot. We didn't get any funding though for signage, for the proposed sidewalk that we put into a grant proposal to the urban renewal, to beautification and the Gadian rock plan that we put in to help with the grade level, because our parking lot drops down below where the sidewalk runs along on 3rd. And so we submitted a proposal to the urban renewal to make that property look a bit more beautiful as we finish this up. And we're actively under construction, so we can make it happen quickly.
I think I've been asked just to make sure when we do these two, so it's on audio, I'll ask you, so you're going on construction?
Yes,
I did.
and
I think they wanted that and do it, so. if they don't-
Godwin Construction came in with the lower bid, and then for the signage, sign craft that came in with the lower bid.
And that's good that the Godwin's gonna finish that, because they probably do the best concrete work of anybody around, and they've already done your whole project, haven't they? So it's nice to finish it out.
They have, yes, and I believe James Goslin told me they also did the ADA access for the community center and that sidewalk work, and so when we talked about it and he did the bid, that was his vision, is to tie in and make it look like that on Hall Street as it runs from 3rd to 2nd.
Any other questions? Concerns? Just go ahead.
Well, all this is to come, right? None of this has been started yet, that what you're proposing to urban renewal, correct?
Nothing has happened yet, no. we were asking for funding to help with the paving, and obviously we haven't paved yet. For the sidewalk, that we had no intention of doing any of the sidewalk work or paving work, and we also hadn't intended on or planned any funding for signage, we just have vinyl signs right now.
Motion.
Yeah.
Price.
Just for the motion.
47,662, that's correct.
Write it down, you had a perfect look, I wrote on my own, yeah, the 15,000, 75% of everything else, and it's really good fall.
Thank
I can find it.
Page
Page 10,
10, page 10.
I make a motion to approve the grant for wildflower for Dawson Construction in the sum of $46,600 that the city will pay out on the grant.
You went over there, it's for,
So, I pick up and
and then this is the whole.
also the sign, which is for sign craft.
You want there probably now, 47.
For the total amount of $47,662.
With it, for the total grant.
Do you have a second?
No, second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Yeah. All right, motion carries.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it, it's gonna look beautiful over
Yeah,
there.
we're excited.
It looks great, and it's much needed service for our community.
Thank you.
Next, 5.1.2, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hi, I'm Terry Day with St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, Terry.
Hi. So, we're wanting to paint our building. And, as many of you guys have been there, if you've seen it, we've done a lot of the remodel on the inside of it. And what we'd like to do is have the outside look as nice and beautiful as the inside does. I've had a lot of people say, wow, it looks so nice inside. I wouldn't know it from the outside. And so that's what we're trying to do is paint it and, some painting done. I got two quotes. Next Level is the one that, I like the best. When I talked to this person, he was awesome. He explained everything that he wanted to do, how he wanted to hose it all down. We've got plaster being removed that's come and done. It's been, I don't know, maybe somebody can tell me how long it's been since that building was painted. But I know it's probably way over 20 years.
It's longer than that, I think.
Well, I agree with you. It probably has been. I don't, hey, I was gone for 30 years. I don't know. So, I gave you guys an example of what I'd like to paint it. So, yeah, I know, it's kind of hard to see. Thank you to AI for, helping me out there. I was trying to get a quote for the awnings and it just didn't happen. It's hard to get them to respond back to you and find somebody even in Portland, but, as long as I can get the, building painted, it's a huge building, so that's why the cost is so high. And the fact that, it has to have the special paint because of the block in the brick of it. It's gotta have the special paint.
The only problem I see with this, if it sticks out and just blur it, I mean, we asked for two competitive quotes. One's 19,000, one's $38,000. There's a disconnect somewhere there that I'm not understanding.
I'm not thinking that the, Res gave me the one for the paint, the cost of the paint. Cause the paint is gonna cost a lot more. And he wasn't gonna do all the brickwork on it. All he was doing is giving me the quote for the paint.
Well, it says all paint products for this project will be their paint, and then
He's scraping it, he's doing the,
the total cost is 19,250, and then,
But it also says something about, like, could be higher with the cost of the. What's it?
I didn't see that.
yeah, I don't see that in his quote. To prep and paint the exterior of St. Vincent de Paul store 166 North Main, to pressure wash exterior building. A building included in price, prep and paint to exterior metal doors, exterior services, Vulcan, whatever, any of the included in price. To paint exterior surfaces using bare premium plus is included in price, all gutters to be prep painted, included in price, all products. For this product will be bare paint, and then the price was 19,250. And then when you look at next level painting, which is $20,000 more,
Well, what is the difference between the last film that I'm trying to read?
Yeah, it's a different,
Last America?
that one is the higher costing. And it's because of the type of block that it soaks in. That's the way he explained it to me, is that you gotta have a certain.
Or bricks, so.
Yeah, and it's for specific for the bricks in the block of what, like this type of building. And it would have to have that type of paint in order for it to not stain. In fact, I was told by Jerry, when she had her building painted down there, she told me, make sure that they use that other paint because they didn't do it on my building. And you can tell the difference in it. So that's one of the reasons
That's
why.
what I'm saying, they're not competitive bids. I mean, if you're saying that, you're saying this guy's giving me an apple and this person's giving me a whole bushel of oranges.
Right.
I have a problem with 100% increase, 19,000 to $38,000. I'm not seeing why. Is anybody else?
had concerns about that also.
We've given grants out for several buildings already, and there's some more that are asking for painting. And I've never seen a price like that.
It's almost 50.
It was double,
100%
100%,
or 200.
actually 90, yeah. That's my only concern is, I don't understand.
Yeah, third quote for this to see what someone else would say for a price, because they are so dramatically different, and then look at it again, because I do agree the building has had a lot of work done inside it, but, and painting outside would be great. These prices are so different to compare and to justify doubling the price of one without.
Yeah, I just looked online and the cost comparison, of those two paints aren't that different,
Okay.
so yeah.
And, I know we've discussed, I don't think we discussed it with you or about the staff, is how, when we changed our urban renewal, now we're going quarterly, but our meeting, and that's not gonna be till.
And that was my other concern, just
We
November.
talked about that, or at least our discussion, maybe we have that discussion, is if there's enough people that don't have all the quotes in, I know there's 4, but didn't get the quotes in, is we've said that we can have an emergency meeting, so we don't have to wait for that.
Okay.
We can come back,
So if I come back, then,
yeah.
I'm a little hesitant there too, Terry, because when I first saw that, it's like almost like I said, 100% difference between.
I'm not in disagreement with you at all. These guys know. They're like, when you need to get in, so that's,
If here's the thing, Terry, you know, if Rescom says that's gonna cover it, you're better off with Rescom.
I agree with you, because then it doesn't come out,
$3,000,
doesn't come out of my pocket, that doesn't have a very deep pocket.
And I would just like to say I'm over the moon with the fact that you're gonna paint.
oh yeah,
I
I
mean,
love that idea.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is
So we're gonna,
such great news.
so we're gonna table this bring it to the next urban
I
renewal
would
meeting.
like to and see if she gets.
Yeah, cause there's, like you said, there's others that are running, I'm open, I like the idea of meeting maybe next month.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll give me an opportunity to get the awning in too.
Yeah, that.
Because the awning is, my awnings are horrible and I know that, but hard to get them to do something. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I guess the other option is just accept the restaurant right now. And get it done, that's up to you.
And that, well, if you guys are willing to take it, I mean, if I can have the opportunity to get get the awning in, I mean, you know, if I end up going with Rescom, that's fine, but, I also could get the awning in and maybe I could get everything done at once.
And I would also ask Redcom if they would, if that fair will do the same thing as that,
Alaska Metro.
Lester Metro.
Or if they did use that other paint that you feel is,
Yeah.
like, having better work with the price difference fee, cause it seems like maybe it wasn't like that much more there. So.
And you know, the Rescom has painted the high school and,
They painted Tommy's too, that's why I went to them first.
they also painted the high school, which is the first building, and
It's the same spot.
he does know what he's doing.
Oh, no, I don't doubt that at all, he just explained everything.
Well,
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you for $19,000. Really? Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Yeah.
Alright, 5.1.3, J Davies Freestyle LLC.
Oh, I have 5.13 is Creek State.
That's what I.
Yeah, that's been like, I always grab that, it's always different.
What is that?
Creek stays last on the red.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine.
I do that just a movie track.
All the time, it's always different than the next one.
Because there's so many corrections.
Follow the agenda and go with the,
I do have, we do have Creek State, we put them in the way that they, were turned in.
So Creek stays first, sorry. So 5.1.3 Creek State.
Byron Mangello, 415 Northwest Third Street, with the Creek Stay project. Thank you, directors, for being here late again. Thank you for considering this application. Earlier this year, the Urban Renewal Agency invested in the structural rehabilitation of the property. Investments already producing results, similarly, mostly on the inside. This application completes the exterior improvements necessary to transform the long time vacant and blighted property into an attractive commercial asset. This isn't the beginning of the project, this is the completion of one. I know we've had already some lengthy discussions around it. I do have I have some mock-ups of the new sign, the new asphalt driveway, the kitchen. I don't know, last time if I gave Joanna a couple videos. I'm not sure if you guys saw those, but I wanted to kind of show you just real quickly where the property was and where it might go to. You could turn the sound off, it's kind of loud, but, so this is May 2024. I've already done a tremendous amount of cleanup to get it to this point, even though it might not look so. But this is what I unfortunately walked into. Of course, we found drugs, feces, needles, a very dilapidated building, rotten food. Just was not good. This is the manager's unit there on the left where Steve was staying. That's Steve's room. So the reason why I just want to show this real fast is I have some mock-ups of, especially this kitchen, that something that's not captured on the video is the smell. And keep in mind, this is the property being quote unquote cleaned up in order for me to take ownership of it. But at a certain point, dealing with Steve, I realized it's better to just try to make it happen myself.
right. Trying to figure out who it belongs to.
I know I'm getting, otherwise getting here.
Pass this one, we go well.
Mhm. So that's what I walked into. This is really short and you can, it's gonna, right there, yeah, you can pause it, and if you could make it full screen, that would be nice. Thank you, Joanna. So this is the, obviously a rebranding here, that will be the outside sign there where the Rose Motel is, as demonstrated by, Sign King, I think we've heard their name already, so and that's the best I could do on a, trying to envision that old junky driveway that's, gonna be new, well, hopefully new blacktop, from, the contractors. I put those two kitchen pictures in there. Those are like the kitchen cabinet layouts. So that room that we walked into with the huge pile of garbage that was, had quite a bad smell is the one on the left. And then the room that had the couch in there, that's the picture on the right.
That's done now.
It's not done now. This is the cabinet, the cabinet designer has a tool basically where you lay out all your cabinets and kitchens, and keep in mind, this is all on that, like, we're not talking about any grant money here, like the kitchen stuff, right?
So since we paid you out last
Yep.
time, I haven't seen anything going on down there, and this stuff's gonna be on you. How the time frame on it is my thing. When is this gonna be completely done? The county has a certificate of occupancy, because you can't open up without that. When is it gonna be completely done to open up for business?
So all the work's happened on the inside, right, from the previous grant, so let me just give you a quick update on where we're at. Past, all brand new plumbing, past inspection, all brand new electrical, past inspection. Mechanical inspection is getting passed tomorrow. So coordinating all those things has been, challenging as you can imagine, but we're literally at the point now, they're put, sheet rocks up in 3 of the 4 units that started this week. Actually, it started on Friday. So we're finally at like a running point here where we're just trying to get our bathroom fan inspection done. I met with Mario twice today over there. He's inspector with the Douglas County Building Department. He's very happy, said we're making great progress. So I know I don't have, there's been, some delays, but altogether, like, we're pretty much like through all those delays. They're sheetrocking, they're painting, they're putting floors in, and, that basically wraps up the interiors the kitchen layouts and cabinets and stuff too. That wraps up the interiors, and then we're moving on to the exteriors.
So I guess the question is, what is the
Timeline, sorry. Let me answer the actual question.
You can't do anything until the county comes in with a certificate of occupancy.
I know, I'm working closely with the county.
This is not a motel, these are apartments, residential apartments that are going to be paid by monthly.
It's still technically a motel, right? And there's various ways you can run your motel: daily, weekly, monthly. Those are all in the parameters of running a motel, but it's officially licensed as a motel. I have a business certificate as a motel.
That's on the grant that we already paid you out on. That's not what it's saying. Same as their apartments. So that's not a motel.
I mean, if I'm not sure how you guys want me to run it, if you are fine letting me run it as apartments, that's actually preferable to me.
But I'm saying the last money we gave you, you said you don't want it to be a motel.
I don't.
You're converting it to apartments. In the state of Oregon, there's a difference. Once you go 30 days, you're no longer a motel. You have landlord tenant.
Yeah, landlord tenant rights.
If issues, you can't just tell somebody to leave. There's a eviction process, so that's where I'm kind of went up on that, and the same question is, when do you have this gonna be completely wrapped up in the done?
Yep, so we have like a 6-week schedule essentially written out. This includes the exterior stuff as well. So rough timeline is another week or say we're halfway or getting close to halfway. Rest of the week sheetrocking, next week painting the interior, week after that, flooring, next week kitchen and kitchen cabinet layouts. That's just all in the interior stuff. A lot of the exterior things can happen concurrently as well, right? Like new gutters takes 1 day done. Asphalt driveway, new blacktop, like 3-4 days done. So I'm confident in this timeline because things can run concurrently, and quite frankly, although things have gone, not perfectly, like I feel like the progress has, no one's harder on the progress and how quickly things are happening than myself, and I beat myself up over it, and hey, you could have done this better, you could have been working hard, made better decisions, but at the end of the day, if we look at where where this property was, much less 2 years ago, but even just say before the grant, right, when it was just kind of strictly on the cleanup stage, it's come pretty far. New electrical, new plumbing, new roofing, passed all those inspections, sheet rocking. Yeah.
Grant has nothing to do with what happened in 2024. What I'm asking is, when are you gonna have your certificate of authenticity? You just gotta remember on the first grant,
Yeah, no,
if
I
it's
got
not
that.
done by a certain date, you have to pay all this money back. And I don't wanna see you get in that position or the city get in the position. Now we have $100,000 invested in something that may not happen.
So according to your timeline there,
Yeah.
that's saying, to me, it says everything's gonna be completed by August, end of August.
And then you'll be open for business.
So are we saying open for business the 1st of September? I think that's where you're
Yeah,
at.
because this just says, his time frame here is just saying to finish this grant. I'm asking.
I know what
what's
you're
your
asking.
time frame to get your county certificate of occupancy, so that you can open up for business. Because
Yeah,
if it's
right.
not done by a certain date, you owe the
Right,
back money.
exactly.
Of course, I don't want to have to put a lien on it.
No, so of course, I mean, no one's more motivated to not just finish the work, but to actually meet, open for, open and get
Right.
that first grant, monkey off the timeline off the back, and then obviously this one's probably not gonna be an issue, if we finish in the designated timeline. I would say worst case scenario, if this, there's unexpected things, which obviously come up, and I feel like most of those hurdles are, have been through the logistics and stuff of it now that we've passed all the building code inspectors and that they're very happy with the situation, and again, commenting on the progress internally. I mean, even if it was like 30 more days, I mean, that would be, the end of September, worst case scenario. Like, if this is, like, my stretch goal is end of August. But if I don't see like very many reasonable scenarios where it's not done by the end of September and open for business.
And that's what I've been asking, because you have a November 28th deadline.
Yeah, I would be very surprised. I'll have a check
You're
here.
gonna be surprised, but we're out $100,000.
Well, no, I'll have a check here the very first day for 50 grand if I don't make that initial deadline.
I know what you're asking for, what this grant covers, it's just, like I said, the paving, that painting, are you gonna, your?
No. No, I specifically talked to him, we're gonna mask it all off and hand paint around that little section.
Three things, the painting, the gutter. You're at.
Asphalt, there's awnings in there. Oh, and the new sign.
That is the very, very, very last things you do. Then again, I mean, we've already got money tied up into this, and I'm not really sure on the time frame. Can we do maybe the same thing as come to us in a month and say, now the interiors are 90% done and I'm getting closer?
Yeah, can we table it?
Yeah,
My suggestion is table this for a month. All of this seems to be cosmetic, not necessarily required to open.
May I comment on it? I initially kind of thought the same thing, right? I was like, oh, I just kind of think exterior is like cosmetic, just, I don't know, a misnomer really. But like exterior painting, I mean, that's helping preserve structure on the buildings, right? The signage, optional. Let's go to pavement. The way that that's graded and the way that the driveway is, like on heavy rain, like it literally is running, sacrificing our previous investment structurally by running under the foundation. And I'd like to take that, like get that taken care of as soon as possible. And then same thing with the gutters, right? The gutters there's not gutters in certain spots, there's broken gutters, like as a homeowner and, business owner of rentals, half of the money that I have to outpay is because of bad gutter work. Like it hasn't been drained properly, it's running too close to the house, it's causing dry rot damage, it's going into the foundation. So while initially it looks exterior or cosmetic, I'd say most of them, and you can even make an argument for the awnings being as well, as they provide those windows are like really exposed and that framing's really exposed, like a little awning on that's gonna help like preserve that framing of that window. A little bit better as well, of the sill and of the framing of the window.
Thought that was complete.
The windows are in, right, but if you look at the building, right, there's like basically a naked flat, kind of almost a little recessed because the block's so thick. So now all of a sudden you have like this recessed window in this block building, and the framing and stuff for that's just kind of sitting out there exposed because it's just sitting right there. So the awnings would again help provide like a little bit of cover for those as well, instead of them just getting
That
rained
kind
on.
of like what you're getting. My concern is less, I'd like to see more progress towards a finished project.
If
It's
it's
been
all-
2.5 years.
If it was up to me right now, my proposal would be to approve the exterior painting and the gutters and say everything else can wait.
Can't do that. It's a project.
But
It's everything or nothing.
I mean, also, right, we're talking about, hey, let's meet the timeline to finish and open and all this stuff, like now we delay those things. I've committed to you to getting this done in a relatively short period of time. And right now we're saying, oh, now you guys are gonna be the ones that are delaying the completion of the project.
We're not delaying anything. This is your project, not ours.
Well, you're saying if I have to come back in a month, that's,
What's the progress that you were hoping?
I want to see more stuff done on the inside, and I still have the same thing with the area. There's a big issue on the pavement. That's $36,000 difference.
can I comment on that? Cause I was actually surprised. So I originally went with 30 Duck and got my first quote, and that was for the blacktop asphalt, right? Which is essentially the most expensive version of driveway. You could do gravel or you could do chip basically, or blacktop. So they came in at 34,000, and I just, for my own, research, I was like, okay, I just want to see like how much, like if a gravel driveway would be cheaper, even though it's not my favorite, because I think it's gonna make a bigger mess and probably more maintenance in the long run. And that's when the rock guy came out and gave me this large quote for what I would consider to be the less desirable driveway. So at that point then I was like happy with my $34,000 totally done
the
blacktop
quotes are
asphalt.
even for the same thing, one's for gravel, one's for asphalt.
Well, correct, yep.
But they're not competitive bids. Well, that's what we need, two bids on the same thing. But as I say, well, it's $34,000 and $71,000. They're not bidding to do the same work.
Well, are they bidding both to do the grading and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, great, digging it all up and terraforming it, packing it redown with gravel. And then the difference is how they finish it. So, I mean, we're talking about basically the higher quality product that's normally more expensive, getting it for half the price.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's really an issue to discuss, but. Absolutely. I guess, I haven't toured the Rose Hotel, and I saw, I see the video that you showed from 2 years ago. I think it would be important to like think about progress. Obviously, we're not gonna see interior progress happening while we're driving by. So I mean, like, I guess it's one thing to kind of think of like, are we not comfortable with interior progress? But are we the ones going over there looking at and inspecting this progress?
When you do that, that's my whole thing, that regardless of we approve this tonight or not, you still have to finish the inside, and I'm just, and like I said, I'm afraid it's not gonna get done in time, and then we got 2 grants out there. I know you're taking responsibility.
I mean, what more can I do? I've made progress, right? We completed the previous grant, right, had requirements that Zach went and walked with me in order to meet those requirements, right? So you're saying, hey, I haven't seen any progress. Well, 1, you haven't been inside. 2, you're welcome to call me or to arrange with me at any point in time, and we could do a walkthrough for it. But the bottom line is that we ended up, completing that first grant, not because the work was done. right? So the work is done. That we qualified, I told you last time, I said, hey, I'm gonna get this done. Remember, it's a tight timeline too. I said, I had like 6 weeks. I said, I'm gonna get this done, this done, this done, this done, this done. We got like 98% of it done, right? And signed off on by the city administrator. So I don't see why, like, all of a sudden now I deserve this skepticism of like whether or not I'm gonna be able to complete this project. I've done every part of the previous grant and met all the requirements. And I'm here saying, hey, this is the second stage of the exterior with things that are also structurally important to the project. And I want to get this thing done sooner than anyone, trust me. And I think that I would appreciate the approval of this grant as it's laid out, so I can just continue on my merry way and get this thing knocked out, and we can all reap the benefits of what this is.
I have a comment, and that is, this is our family's full-time job now, is getting this done. Byron works for our company, for our family, so, you know, this is our full-time job of getting this done. Also, he has the contractor scheduled to get all this stuff done. Like, in the same, there's no, who are we gonna get, you know, to do it or whatever. A high-value contractor that does a great job. He's already scheduled. They're all, you know, everything's all happening as fast as it can. And our deadline's November 28th. I'm telling you, we'll be done by November 28th, way before that, because, you know, not only is it our reputation, but it's also financial and it's also our word. You know, we said, hey, we're going into this financial arrangement with you guys. We're asking for the money. We know what the deadline is. All the contractors and everything, they're all just waiting to go, you know, so there's nothing, you know, I don't know the order of operation of some of this stuff, but I'm telling you right now that that is our family's business and that's what we do full time. And if we need someone to help us do something else, guess what? We hire them and they get it done. And we have all these different contractors, they're all waiting. I mean, it's all ready to go. You know, there's nothing to impede us at all. I mean, you know, sort of a seduction event or something like that.
I personally think seeing more asphalt, another asphalt plant would be ideal.
Yeah.
I've dealt with those guys before and I would use them, but.
They're done.
Yeah. I'm just concerned with the price on that, and also, I mean, I drove by there today, of course, you know, we've got that fence there, but I didn't think those were the windows that we approved in the back. Are those sliders?
The windows you approved in the back, can you be more specific?
Well, you put new windows in the back of the building by the mini market.
Yeah.
Are those sliders?
They-
I could tell from the fence, but I didn't see where they slid over the slider.
They are sliders, although funny story on that, when I originally presented that first bid, they were still. The plan I submitted, which I never liked from the beginning, was to basically fill those in with CMU block. So when I made that audible to be like, wait, why are we getting rid of these windows? This doesn't make any sense. They already have no natural light. I ended up putting the windows in there, and that cost me the entire change of that project by having the windows open there.
You see, that's where I'm getting, because I'm looking at the other bid and it wasn't like it is now, so you changed in the middle of the bid and you didn't come and ask us. Is that what I'm getting at?
Just to be clear though, you guys didn't pay for any of that, so I changed, right, if I changed the bid, or that we changed the scope of the project and didn't make it in time to get back in front of you, so that part of the project that you were going to reimburse that changed, you guys did not compensate for that, so that was taken out of the original grant. So I did not maximize the 50,000 that you provided so generously the first round because of that change that ended up.
Outside of the getting another quote on the pavement, does the city have any concerns with anything? And I mean, like, as you said, like, he honored the first one.
I just don't.
Came in on time.
That's a change we didn't approve. We didn't approve for it to be built that way.
Yeah, and it's built into the rule, Rick, that if there's changes, then you guys don't pay for it, and that's what happened.
You're making the time.
No, I thought you had to come back and get approval for the changes.
made a change, but we didn't.
We didn't pay for the change.
We didn't pay for the
But we
change.
took it out of the, we took it out of the,
But we didn't approve the change.
but if he changed the scope of the project without us having to pay for it, we shouldn't have to approve it. I am with Zach, though. I would like to see another asphalt bid so I can compare apples to apples, not apples to oranges. Shouldn't be that hard to get another guy in there to do an asphalt bid.
Did
No,
you-
I know contractor I've been dealing with them for the last month and a half, so. Something good bid, leave something takes 3 weeks, you never know.
Yeah, it's been difficult tracking those guys down in particular. I think
We can set that meeting earlier in the month, so it doesn't have to be.
Well, if we have others that are gonna be presenting with application.
Yes.
Yeah, we've already pushed one, so,
Yeah, so I think,
I think that's a good idea.
what's the first, meeting in August?
I think that we have part of this process too, like, we had no intention of offering back-to-back grants. I finished one today, I'm getting ready to apply for another tomorrow until the last meeting,
Right.
and so.
Well, I just haven't.
yeah, we had a long meeting.
yeah, it passed unanimously. I'd like to.
We also discussed
No,
that
I
we
didn't.
don't have to approve the full amount of the request. The discussion was, we could approve less of the project, so if it's a $50,000 project, we don't have to approve to grant you $50,000. we can say we're only gonna give you 12 of that 50, and that's what we award you.
But yeah, it's
So-
within your
So
rights.
that is.
But is that in his best, I mean, is that in the person's best interest to do that, cause if you grant that, then.
If it was up to me, this stuff is cosmetic and I would approve the exterior painting in the gutter, so it would be approximately $13,000. And that would be what I would recommend for approving, because the other stuff seems to be cosmetic.
But,
Granted, it's finishing his project, but he's not open for business. And what was going to be a motel is now going to potentially be apartments, which is not a public service, or it is a private business and not providing any service to the public.
I mean,
Where part of our issue is we don't have any place for anybody to stay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
You said you were working with the county on the building permits and stuff. Getting back to the change, did you just throw windows in there? So if you finish by June 15th, then it can be approved, or did they come in, did the county come in and approve those changes?
not the first one, because I wasn't trying to get anything that didn't qualify for the grant once I made that change, so I had no deadline then for those back windows.
All operational improvements made to the buildings after we do the grant shall be made pursuant to required building permits and constructed in accordance with all applicable zoning requirements and planning approvals. So we didn't approve those changes. The planning department did not.
The planning department did not need to approve those changes. They didn't have an interest either way. They suggested I went with the open-end windows, but it wasn't a requirement on their end or anything,
The requirement on our grant.
which is why you didn't pay for that. I mean, for example,
why, if you didn't pay for it, why are we concerned about the change that? Like, it's like, it's like us telling you how you build a house, like, that doesn't make sense.
So we have a grant that he has a grant, he gave us the plan, he gave us this and said, this is the way I'm gonna do it. And if there were any changes, the change should have come through the plan, and it didn't happen, so.
To the plan, which the planning department? Or
The contract said that, which I would assume would be the county. County sign off, or the planning department sign off on the changes, because you made changes to the original.
so the building originally had windows in there,
Right.
so it was actually a change to do the block plan.
And that's what we approved.
And so they did not,
Who's we, when you say we,
We approved the first original grant, the Urban Renewal Board.
and that grant was to put the blocks in?
Yes.
And so then he didn't, he chose not to do that, so we didn't pay him for that.
I don't know if we did or not, we did not pay.
did not.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the thing, I was under the impression.
So if
any
we did,
change
so
was
what's
done through us.
So now that we know we didn't pay for it, what's the concern?
They went through the proper channels, but that's, if you guys think he did, that's fine.
Cause I think Rick's point is he didn't follow the grant agreement that he would run with by it.
Right.
Like if I have a grant for a program that says, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and then I decide to do A, B, and C, even though they didn't pay for that, I didn't follow the grant that they said I would, and I potentially have to pay all that back because I didn't do what I said I was gonna do.
I mean,
So it's not like our grant
Yeah,
agreement.
yeah, if you look at that way, the breach, like you do it that way.
And I think that's what Rick's trying to say.
Anytime the city gets grants, we have to follow exactly the grant is, or we don't get paid. And that's what I said, I don't know, only you know in your mind why you made those changes. And I know you were scrambling the last couple of days to get it finished and throw those windows in there. And that's what I'm saying, you can throw those windows in there just so it can be approved, but I don't know what.
Well, so imagine that I don't throw the windows in there, and Zach comes out there and he's like, wait, where's the block? These things were empty. I'm like, sorry, didn't get it done.
Project's not complete.
And he doesn't, and then what would happen, he wouldn't pay for that portion of the project, just
Just
like,
like the whole project, because you signed an agreement, we sat here and discussed it over and over with all you, if it's not finished. According to the grant, right, June 15th, then we don't pay.
has there not been people that have gotten, that had a grant with more than one item and didn't complete every item on that list?
I don't think so. I don't know if any that didn't fulfill it.
I think we're getting into a gray area here with people.
Yeah.
We have legal fees, and none of us in this room that I know of are, licensed attorneys, so I think this is something, if we really wanna go down that road, we refer to the attorney to read that language and.
No, I don't wanna do that.
No.
However, at this point, the discussion is to table this until the next urban renewal
Right.
meeting with a second quote for asphalt.
Yes. Is that a motion?
Yes.
All right, second.
No,
We don't need a.
Oh, that's a table, yeah, you're just tabling.
Hang on.
We're moving on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Sorry, I don't have it in front of me, one.
Mr. Haley,
Jay Davies resale, let's see. He's nervous, they was.
Yes, you are.
First off, I want to say thank you for the last permit. Hopefully you guys have went by and looked at the building. Happy. And we've got a ways to go. That's kind of what this grant is for. So anyway, any questions? I'm sure.
Yeah, mine is. It does look beautiful and it's finished. When are you gonna open up your business?
Well, couple things. The apartment is going to be opened in the next 4 months, probably, part of it. And then she's got a business going in it right now. And when we get the new roof and everything on it, then we probably are going to open up pop-up openings, you know, a couple days here and a couple days there, sort of thing, in what, maybe 3 months, I would think. Or it could be a
I
little.
mean, I work every day. I have.
She's there every day working.
I'm there
She
working.
has a business.
No air
right?
conditioning, no heat. Yeah, I've been working.
Can you put an open sign or something, so
Well, I don't know.
say you have an open, you're.
It's online resale.
Online
Yeah.
resale. I
Or
mean,
then,
she's,
yeah.
We're trying to
she's
have
there
two.
constantly.
Yeah.
And she's, you know.
So you're trying to have online and in-person right now.
Yes, we're hoping to pop up. Right now, we have no air conditioning, no heat, no, you know, there's things and leaky roof. Otherwise, yeah. So it's not the best to have
So what
someone in
is,
yet.
can you describe what your retail is gonna look like, you know?
Well, it's kind of like a lot of retails around here. It's retail of clothing.
Alright.
Clothing and housewares and just furniture, redoing furniture. We have,
It's gonna be like a living room with like different, it all.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, not, yeah, sort of, but it'll be. It's gonna be, once we get everything done. There would be, like she says, furniture. All kinds of,
So it's gonna be more like a knick-knack, not.
no, it's not gonna be a thrift, it's gonna be more kind of mid to high range things. You know, so it's gonna be, it's gonna sell something, it's gonna, you know, you don't just open it in one day and.
Oh, no, I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm just trying
no.
to get a visualization of what.
Yeah.
What it's gonna be like.
right now it's online. Completely. I live at the post office, but,
Yeah.
So your plans are to
Yeah.
make sure that there's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yes.
some retail. Okay.
yeah, I can't put an open sign and have people. In
But I,
right yet.
then again, like I say, it's beautiful, I know what your goal is, but,
What's considered open, I guess, is the thing.
Yeah, I thought in the, that,
Yeah. Is that what you're concerned
that
with?
having a business that I was
They have
working,
time frame.
when we checked it.
That's up and open, so what would you think that would
This
mean?
is.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Well, okay, well,
if she's selling and making money, that's the, is that considered open? Yeah,
So you're asking for
Does it say-
$33,680 for Winston Roofing to replace your roof.
Yeah, that's, we've gotten 2 bids, we could. And those are, we have a third bid, but it was
65,000.
for 65,000.
Yeah, the other one we
Third
threw away.
bid was 65 grand.
Who gave you that?
No,
Magical.
Magical company
that's,
there.
that's, that's.
Magical build.
Yeah,
They're actually, they gave us a good bid on our house roof, but this was great.
yeah, it was right there with Winston.
Yeah.
What's the square footage of that building? I mean, that seems high.
It's pretty big, it's two, wow, how big is it?
See,
Like, is
that's all-
it 3? Yeah, no,
So the 2 bids you gave us was 33 and change and 34 and change.
Yeah, so they're very close.
Those are
Yeah.
competitive bids.
yeah,
They're right in. I mean, if we're all comfortable saying that they follow the original grant and that's occupied and open. I'm good.
So when do you propose to put you said a couple of months before you'll have, some furniture or whatever, where you could say you're gonna officially be open?
yeah, when the roof is. We planned to have,
Before they came to set up a store inside.
yeah, because all of my things would be
If
ruined.
that's truly the case, why did the roof get done in the first one?
Well, because we didn't think you could do roofs on because.
We were told we
so
couldn't
much
do
else.
roofs the first.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
We approved.
Well, we
I
did-
know, but we
We
were
talked
told
about it.
that,
Yeah.
we
That
talked,
was,
believe me, had a good discussion with him.
yeah,
We were told that no, we could not, that you did not do roofs. So we did what.
yeah, we,
Got it off of Facebook.
No, I don't do Facebook.
I think
I
what,
That's a bunch.
what our frustration is that I can only speak for myself, but you know, we have wanted to see businesses where there's traffic and, you know, whether there's some
That
liveliness
is our-
going on and,
yeah.
it doesn't seem that we're all of a sudden headed in that direction, so.
well,
And that's
hopefully,
why my
You haven't-
occupied and open means, but I
You-
don't
Yeah.
know what occupied and open means to somebody else's mind.
But also it says in the original grant that we have to do it within 6 months. So we
Right.
started this process in March, the end of March. We started working on it in April. We busted our butts. We commit you guys' timeline to get all of that done.
Right.
So
So-
now, and that was what we were, and when that was all being done on the outside,
we're
we
doing the inside.
we're working 12-hour days on the inside, getting it ready. We
Well,
haven't
I
stopped
think
it. We haven't stopped our commitment.
Yeah.
No, if you
Well,
would
but
see,
still, we waited. I mean, as soon as we were gonna do the roof and we find out that we can possibly get a grant, it's helping us open quicker because that's more money that we're putting out on the inside. We're putting out way more money on the inside than you guys are doing on the outside. That the grants do.
What I'm saying, I think what Kathy's
Yeah,
saying
beautiful.
is,
So-
we like the new roof section, but.
You're not
we
gonna
want you
see
to
it.
be an open business, we want you to fulfill your village
So,
grant before we give you a second.
well, but we are. The first grant is not even, it has to be done until 6 months after. So it's only June 15th.
Right, but in that respect, in 6 months, when you're open for business, come back and ask for a grant. Or
In
if
six-
you get open in a month,
But in 6 months, in 3 months from now, it's winter again.
right,
So we hustled to get all of this stuff. So we could get in and try to get it done. And then we don't have opening for business and we've got buckets of
It is.
I think
water.
that's the, maybe, kind of situation we're trying is like. And I guess that's something that we, as council, have to reconsider, we haven't maybe thought about that or talked about it, is the fact that like. And I think this goes to, I mean, your plan as well, like, there's a couple of grants that were needing to be done for them to be.
Do they need to be completed before another one can be?
Well, I know, that's not one, is like, there's a situation here where we have two businesses needing 2 grants to be open on time. And we're in the situation where, well, they can't be open, or at least they may not be able to be open on time to honor the first grant if they can't get the
Yeah.
second grant.
I mean, it's
So we're
not-
just, I think we're in this position where we're going to set precedent right now. In this situation of like, how do we wanna approach that? Cause are we do we want to see them succeed or, we want them to see them succeed and be able to be open and all that kind of stuff. If that requires them to be able to get that roof done and be able to do that. And then get it done on time, and let's say they do get it done on time, they're open and all that kind of stuff, are we happy in that situation?
This grant that we gave you.
37.
Or I told you, happy in the situation, and happy that we gave them those 2 grants, we're happy that they're open, and there's people, and that kind of thing.
But I wanna see.
I mean, it wouldn't be pretty, but I could put a sign it up and say we're open.
But we can't-
It would be kind of scary for people to come in.
But we're in a situation where we like, we're just, we can't see.
If you want us to-
But as far as both of you going back is, we went discussing great lengths on that first grant. Do not count on a second grant coming next year because we had no intentions of doing a second grant and everybody agreed to it. Now
We didn't.
now you can do it back to back years, everybody is instantly, they want more money.
Well, it's totally your decision, no, I
It
mean,
is.
you
Yeah,
just
it's-
told it,
it's-
so if you would say, no, then we appreciate you thinking about it.
So I'm on the same thing as Kathy, I guess we gotta decide what are we considered occupied in an open business. I wanna see foot traffic, I wanna see something, somebody can drive by and say, hey, they got some really nice looking antique furniture in there and this and that. I'm gonna stop at that and give that business a look. And right now, that's not being done. I'd like to see that before we step up and say, we're gonna give you a second grant. I won't, that's what, I'm,
But if they can't do that without a second grant, then what should, then are we just? They're saying that they don't feel comfortable opening your store until they get the roof fixed, so this is the precedent I'm trying to think of, like, we're gonna set precedent here.
And we're gonna set precedent on open to what constitutes
Yeah,
open.
and so that's why I'm trying.
What's spelled out, what does our contract say, our grant say, what does
I
it say
mean,
for?
technically she's open for business if she's operating a business.
I would like to,
That's what we've been told.
That's what I was told, but
If we weren't planning on doing a second grant, I think it's great that we can help a second time around. But if there was no intention of getting the second grant, it doesn't make sense to say that now they can't open and fulfill the first grant without the second grant. So could we maybe do something on the ones that are coming back again? I think it's great. If we have the funds, it's great, but maybe they fulfill all the agreements of the first one before we do a second one. Like maybe if they open up the next month, they could come back next month with everybody else and then apply for it. And once they're open, they fulfill the first one and we could do.
And just to clarify I know the point, it's a good point, just to clarify though, like, is completing the grant. I guess I need to reword it.
All of the terms of the grant, because right now.
One of the terms of the grant is they have to be open within 6 months.
Correct.
And that was a stipulation of the money, otherwise it starts getting tapered back, right? Or we can start.
If it's not done within 6 months, then you would have to pay it back to the city as what you were. The grant is open-ended right now.
We've been, there's a
It's
lot.
open-ended at this point.
I don't know,
This grant
is
is
she
not
on the
finished
board?
yet.
She works for the city.
yeah.
So I have a question though. I mean, we have did exactly what you guys have asked us to do. And we're trying to make the timeline. We were told that we couldn't apply for a road grant originally, or we would have the first time. So we had, it,
Do you remember?
I'm not gonna point my finger at people or any, it
Well,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, no,
Doesn't matter.
no, it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't really help.
Yeah,
But anyway,
but but that's what happened. Huh? Yeah, but we didn't,
We didn't know Tommy's
we didn't know Tommy's from that. No, I don't think.
Listen to us.
no.
No, I
We
don't think
didn't
Tommy's didn't do it, but
No.
no.
I thought Tommy did pay now, bro.
But we
No, we
were
were
in and out
here.
of Tommy. so-
We were here.
Sorry, otherwise I would have.
You were the first days.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think that's
we honestly would have done that, so it's not like we're trying to get no grant.
But seriously, it's your decision if you.
But we have been told
appreciate your
different
time.
things by different people, and we're trying to meet all of your guys' expectations. And this really helps us get those doors.
But I just didn't see the clarification. I thought I was open by doing my business.
We've been
And
told,
I've been doing it before we ever got a grant, even when I was getting rained on inside the building. You know, I have been doing my online business, so, I didn't know.
So we have just
So
taken
anyway.
that old building and tried to make it better.
It's our discretionary thing, if we agree.
It is.
As a group that, by doing it what she's doing, maybe get an open sign and she's in there, click the sign on and have people come walk in your door. I'm saying great.
Or even just to walk in to discuss.
We can do that.
What you're
That's-
doing.
I've had people that knock and come
Walk
in.
in.
Yeah, well, I think,
Yeah.
I think also being by Saco, you're gonna get, especially if you have clothing, you know, you're gonna get traffic.
Yeah,
So.
I don't get a lot of that.
There's some points that
But
are
here's
in
the-
this
Yeah.
agreement that are not quite clear, and maybe we need to
yeah.
figure out what those points
Every
are.
time you run into a problem, just creates another problem.
Yeah.
All we're trying to do is, the whole goal for this grant was to get money out to as many businesses as we can to get improvements.
And we
Get open.
appreciate
Start
that.
that. So if we all agree that what they're doing, and maybe they can go one step further, let people know that they're open to business, I have no problem approving.
Okay, well, we can do that, but here, let me just say this one thing. So when you open up a new business, you want to put up the best front. So you want to have everything done. You want people to come in and they want to, you got 15 seconds to have them decide if they're going to come back and shop your shop, or they're gonna say, oh, that's just another thrift store. So I guess what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it, since I thought we had this little timeline, we could do it quickly. We could do it tomorrow. We could tack a open sign up and, you know, they could come in. We could have all kinds of stuff, but we'd rather do it correctly and have people come in and want to come back. Now, you say you want to get business downtown, let's have them come back. Let's not have.
They have to know that there's a business
Yeah,
that come,
but
right now.
but that's it. Well, but we can do it easily. But this is just, all this does is just help us. And then we're.
But anyway,
But if,
like I said.
if it wasn't roofed right away, you started with something, I don't know. Would that cause a lot of problems, do you think, or
If
you would work around the roofing
we could,
for a while?
well. It's gonna rain, eventually, and the roofing contractors are hard to get. They're really busy. We have
That's true.
one guy lined up to start to do it. And I think he said it'd be done in 4 or 5 days.
Well, I agree that it looks beautiful, you've done a great job, I don't know, if we need to talk about it more, if we can come to some sort of
I'd
agreement.
like to make a motion that we approve the Winston roofing for $33,630.80, whatever that says. So that you can get open for business as a walk-in.
Let's do that.
And like I said, maybe you think I'm being negative, but.
No,
That's a beautiful.
I don't think you're being negative. I understand you're trying to protect
Absolutely.
the front.
Protect the city and the
Yeah.
city's.
Yeah,
Because that's
but
what
we're here to try to help the city also. We're gonna be here for the rest of our lives.
I know you've taken me on a tour of that place and.
And we're proud of it.
It worked out better than I thought it was, because you weren't sure about your contractor. He seemed to do a really.
Oh, he did a really good job. Did a great job.
So, you made a motion.
And I second it.
Yes, you can second it.
Thank you
You're
very
getting-
much.
Any other discussion?
We've been here really.
All in favor, aye,
Aye.
opposed nay.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
all of you. I was afraid to pop out of here because you're out.
Oh.